Welcome back to Good Morning Colorado. The sunrise from the Steel City right now looking nice, and we saw some birds fluttering around. I don't see them right now, but beautiful shot nonetheless. Oh, there we go. 6:43 is the time right now. Let's get a check on that weather. Good morning, Marty.
Yeah, good morning, Kershani. Good morning, everyone. Didn't pick up any snow of note in Pueblo last night, and really around Colorado Springs outside of a dusting on the west side of town. Not much either. You can see the road looks fine there. North Union and Montebello Street at Mortgage Solutions Financial. Old Glory is wrapped around the pole, though, because we have had some breezy conditions throughout the night. Farther to the north and east, it's still pretty cloudy. The wind's gusting pretty hard here at Cedar Point. We did have some snow up on the Palmer Divide on the order of about 1 to 3 inches. And if your travels take you up towards Denver, they've done a pretty nice job of clearing out the interstate. But watch the on and off ramps and some of the secondary roads once you get off of the interstate. It's also a little bit slick down here south and southwest of Pueblo, where we also had about 1 to 3 inches of snow in spots last night. Temperatures in much of eastern Colorado are in the 20s and 30s this morning. Trinidad's at 19. We do have some colder air up high with Leadville and Gunnison only in the single digits. Paratu's right now in Alamosa. We also have some wind. The strongest of it is off to the north and east of the Front Range, but it's been a little breezy here along the I-25 corridor as well. Generally speaking, wind speeds are running between about 15 and 25 miles an hour in parts of eastern Colorado, but we're getting some gusts over 30, especially as you head off towards the east. And so for many of you watching this morning, it's a pretty blustery morning, and it's going to be a pretty blustery day today, as it looks like that wind is going to continue in some capacity. There's a little bit of cloud cover kind of cruising across northern parts of our coverage area this morning. We have a pool of cold air aloft that could interact with the mountains as the sun comes up and result in some cumulus clouds and maybe even a few flurries. But for the most part, I think we'll just be partly cloudy where we do have clouds. And we'll end up with more of a concern regarding the wind here as we head into the afternoon. It's going to be cooler today with 30s and 40s in eastern Colorado, teens and 20s up across the high country. But it's also going to be breezy throughout the afternoon. I think wind speeds of 10 to 20 miles an hour should be pretty commonly found today, whether it's Teller County or here at lower elevations in El Paso County. Northern parts of Teller County, about an inch or two of snow on the ground and some slick roadways to contend with this morning. Cripple Creek didn't really receive any snow. We'll be in the 20s to lower 30s around Teller County and generally 30s through Colorado Springs. Also picked up about 1 to 3 inches of snow up on the Palmer Divide, so if your travels take you around northern El Paso County, you could run into some slick spots, especially this morning. We're fine along the Arkansas River as far as road conditions are concerned. We'll be in the mid-40s from Canyon City to Pueblo today. 30s and lower 40s on the higher terrain south and west of town. And again, enough wind to make for a pretty cool feel to the atmosphere throughout the day today. The wind should settle down some through the night tonight. Looks like the sky will remain mostly clear, and that's going to allow our temperatures to cool pretty efficiently. I do think when you wake up tomorrow morning, these numbers will be down some over what we're seeing out there this morning. Many areas will fall into the teens tonight. We might notice, though, near the mountains, a few spots may start warming up even prior to the sun rising as some warmer air starts to sneak across the higher terrain. That'll help us out a little bit tomorrow. But before that happens over the mountain valleys, we're going to drop off into the single digits, both above and below zero. So a pretty cool night up there as well. See a few clouds off to the east, but not too many, as viewed from up on top of Cheyenne Mountain this morning. It's a real pretty morning. It just, again, doesn't feel all that great with the wind out there. Now, we're tracking a brief warm-up that should at least last the early part of next week. We'll have some wind with that, as we often do this time of year. But midweek, it looks like we have a chance for some snow, and we'll talk about that in our extended forecast coming up soon.
Sounds good. Thank you, Marty. And a woman